Chosen one, please stop right now. Do not scroll away from this message. This is an urgent divine interception directly from the highest realms. You seeing this is not a coincidence. The algorithm has nothing to do with this exact moment. Heaven has forcefully routed this transmission to your screen because the window for your financial and spiritual breakthrough is closing very fast. Before you do anything else, I need you to take one slow breath. I want you to feel that heavy tightness sitting in your chest right now. It is the exact same exhaustion you feel after every single phone call with her. You know exactly who I am talking about. Stop letting the world convince you that you are just stressed or ungrateful while your soul is secretly fighting a massive spiritual battle. Your spirit has been incredibly restless lately. You wake up in the middle of the night with your mind racing. You feel a deep and crushing guilt that you cannot easily explain. It always revolves around the woman who gave you life. They taught you to honor your mother, but they never warned you about what happens when the mother becomes the spiritual gatekeeper of your destruction. Listen carefully to me. Archangel Michael says, this is your final warning. If you swipe away now, you will single-handedly shut the door on the massive blessing your soul needs. You will remain trapped in the same toxic cycle of guilt and drain. The heavy spiritual attacks you have been facing recently are not random. They are hard proof that the enemy is panicking. A massive generational wealth transfer has just been approved in your name, but there is a massive spiritual blockade standing right at your front door. It is disguised as maternal love. It is disguised as family duty. And it is completely draining your life force every time you interact with her while you desperately try to be a good and loyal child. Do not take your eyes off this screen. They always described you as the sensitive one. You are the empath who always forgave and stayed quiet to keep the peace. And because of your pure light, they severely underestimated your immense spiritual power. The darkness used the most sacred bond on earth to manipulate you. The maternal bond was hijacked to siphon your divine energy because you carry the exact frequency that scares the dark entities. There is a reason why your life feels constantly blocked right when you are about to succeed. Heaven is urgently trying to warn you about the hidden mechanism she uses against you. It is a secret spiritual contract you never signed, but it is controlling your finances and your peace of mind right now, and you must hear this truth before it is too late. If you leave this video early, the blessing will still try to reach you, but you will not have the spiritual equipment to hold it. You will hand your victory right back to the bloodline curse. Make a promise to your future self right now. Do not let this message fade into the background. Your survival depends on what is revealed to you next, because the universe is about to expose the deepest lie of your childhood. You have spent years trying to fix the relationship. You poured endless love into a black hole of criticism and passive aggression. Every time you set a boundary, the guilt trips pulled you right back into the emotional prison. That is not normal human behavior. That is a calculated spiritual operation designed to keep the chosen one weak and completely dependent on their toxic approval. The people around you do not understand this. The rest of the family thinks you are being difficult or cold. They are completely blind to the spiritual warfare happening behind closed doors. But the universe sees exactly what she does to you in secret. Heaven has witnessed every single tear you cried in frustration. You are finally being vindicated by the highest divine authority because your pure heart has passed the ultimate test of endurance. This brings us to the ultimate revelation about your bloodline. You are not just a victim of bad parenting. You were specifically targeted before you were even born. The darkness knew you were the cycle breaker, so it planted its strongest agent as close to you as physically possible. It used the womb as a Trojan horse to infiltrate your divine and pure energy field before you could even defend yourself. I need you to pay very close attention to these next words. What you are about to discover will challenge everything society taught you about family. It will shatter the illusion of obligation that has kept you poor and exhausted, but it will also set you completely free. Do you feel that slight pull in your spirit right now as you listen to my voice? That is your intuition confirming that this is the absolute truth. You are standing at the edge of a massive timeline shift. You must understand the trap before receiving your wealth. You have to see the invisible chains tied to your ankles so you can finally break them and walk into your true spiritual destiny. There is a very specific reason why she treats you the way she does, and it has absolutely nothing to do with your worth. It has everything to do with what you carry inside you. Stay locked on this message until the very end, because the final piece of this divine puzzle will change how you walk forever, and it will unlock your massive generational wealth. You feel completely drained. Your shoulders carry an invisible weight. The exhaustion is so deep it hurts your bones. Every time you finish a simple conversation with her, you feel like your life force has been sucked dry. You try to be loving. You try to be the good child, but nothing you do is ever enough to fill her endless void. The guilt sits heavy in your stomach. Society tells you to always honor your mother. People say she did her best, and every time you try to protect your peace, she plays the victim perfectly. She knows exactly which emotional buttons to push because she installed them. You are left feeling like the absolute villain. I see your silent struggles. I am watching you fight this invisible battle every single day. Stop blaming yourself for the constant tension. Stop believing the lie that you are a difficult or ungrateful person. You are not crazy. Your intuition is completely accurate. The extreme fatigue you feel around her is actually a spiritual warning system. Your body is physically reacting to an energy vampire. When you are in her presence, your pure light is actively being drained to feed her insecurities. Heaven gave you a highly sensitive spirit. You absorb the unspoken hostility and the passive aggression that hides behind her fake smiles. The physical pain in your chest is your soul screaming for immediate distance. This is exactly why you feel so isolated lately. Your circle has grown incredibly small. You spend most of your time alone, and you wonder if you are doing something wrong. You are not being punished by the universe. This extreme loneliness is actually a divine isolation protocol. Heaven is deliberately pulling you away from her toxic frequency. If you feel this heavy truth in your spirit right now, pay close attention. Tap the like button as an act of agreement with what God just spoke to you. Your physical action seals this divine validation. You needed to hear that you are not a bad child. You are a powerful, chosen one who simply refuses to be emotionally manipulated anymore. They want you to stay in the victim role. They need you to feel guilty, so you will keep coming back for more abuse. But the divine realm is stepping in to cut those invisible cords. Your extreme isolation was necessary to clear your mind. You had to be separated from the noise so you could finally hear the true voice of the Holy Spirit. Think about the family gatherings where you always feel completely out of place. You sit there quietly. You watch the fake interactions. You see right through the generational trauma that everyone else pretends to ignore. And because you refuse to play their sick little games, they quickly label you as the black sheep of the family. Being the black sheep is actually a massive spiritual compliment. It means the generational curse could not infect your soul. You are the anomaly. You are the rare soul who survived the storm completely alone. The universe had to separate you from the infected herd. If you stayed close to her energy, your spiritual gifts would have been destroyed. Take a deep breath and let this truth sink in. You do not owe anyone your sanity. You do not owe your mother your life force just because she gave birth to you. That is a toxic contract created by the Matrix. True maternal love does not demand your endless suffering as a form of payment. Real love empowers you instead of constantly draining you. You have begged heaven to fix the relationship. You cried oceans of tears, asking why your own mother cannot just love you normally. But you must understand this harsh reality. She cannot give you what she does not possess. Her spirit is completely blocked by dark attachments. She uses you as a battery to power her own unresolved childhood trauma. This is the moment your guilt must die. You are officially released from the burden of fixing her. It is not your job to heal a parent who chooses to stay broken. The universe is validating your pain right here and right now. You have permission to walk away from the emotional abuse. You have divine permission to protect your sacred energy. Every time you felt sick before calling her, that was your angels warning you. They were trying to shield your aura from her incoming psychic attacks. She may not even realize she is doing it consciously. But the dark entities attached to her use her voice to plant seeds of doubt in your mind. They want to keep you playing small forever. But you are waking up. The divine isolation has given you the clarity to see the battlefield. You are finally recognizing the subtle manipulations and the constant gaslighting. You are stepping into your quiet authority. You are no longer the frightened child begging for crumbs of affection. You are an untouchable master of your own reality. Do you still wonder why you have suffered so much? Do you want to know the exact hidden reason why her words always cut you deeper than anyone else? There is a deeper layer to this spiritual phenomenon. Listen closely to what I am about to say next, because the truth about your childhood will completely blow your mind. Let us go back to your childhood for a moment. You remember the harsh words perfectly. The constant criticism was always there. Nothing you accomplished ever made her truly happy. And even when you did everything exactly right, she always found one tiny flaw to point out, just to break your spirit down. You grew up believing you were fundamentally flawed. You thought you were simply not good enough. The pain of rejection became your normal reality. You tried so hard to change your personality to win her approval. But the truth is that your pure innocence was actually a massive threat to the hidden demons she carried inside her own soul. Stop believing the toxic lies of your past. You were never a bad child. You were never difficult to love. The problem was never your attitude or your behavior. Your spirit was operating on an incredibly high frequency of divine light, while she was drowning in the low vibrations of her own unresolved trauma. Her criticism was not a reflection of your worth. It was a loud confession of her deep insecurities. She looked at your bright light and felt completely terrified. She knew deep down that you were destined for greatness. And, instead of nurturing your beautiful gifts, the dark entities attaching to her used her voice to systematically tear your confidence apart. Think about the moments you felt most proud. You brought home a great achievement. You expected a warm hug and a smile. You wanted her to finally be proud of you, but she immediately dismissed your success and shifted the focus back to herself, because a narcissist can never let the chosen one shine brighter than them. This is the hidden mechanism you must understand. The verbal abuse was a calculated spiritual weapon. It was designed to constantly lower your vibration. If you realized how truly powerful you were, you would leave her behind. So she kept you trapped in a cycle of self-doubt to ensure you would always remain dependent on her toxic validation forever. You absorbed her toxic shame for decades. You carried her emotional baggage like a loyal servant. You apologized for things you never even did. You took the blame just to keep the peace in the house. But every time you surrendered your personal truth, you handed over a piece of your divine birthright to a spiritual vampire. Take a slow breath right now. Feel the heavy chains of the past breaking. You are no longer that terrified little child. You are the cycle breaker who was sent here to end this generational curse. The universe chose you specifically because your soul was strong enough to endure the darkness and eventually conquer it with pure light. Her harsh words were never meant to guide you. They were desperate attempts to dim your shining aura. She projected all of her failures onto your pure canvas. She hated the parts of you that reflected the freedom she never had. And when you finally started setting healthy boundaries, her inner demons panicked because they lost their absolute favorite energy source. Do you see the absolute truth now? The mother wound is not a punishment from God. The constant rejection was a rigorous training ground. It forced you to look inward for divine validation. You had to learn how to survive the storm, completely alone, so you could become the absolute master of your own glorious reality today. You are the empath with boundaries now. You no longer need her twisted version of love. You have stopped begging for water from an empty well. You recognize that her cruelty was actually the massive catalyst for your spiritual awakening. Because if she had given you a comfortable life, you would have never searched for your supreme divine calling. This revelation brings immense relief to your soul. You can finally drop the heavy burden of guilt. You do not have to fix her broken pieces. You are completely absolved of any responsibility for her emotional state. Your only divine mission right now is to protect your energy and prepare for the massive financial blessing heading your way. Listen carefully to this next part. The darkness is highly deceptive and incredibly cunning. It hides behind the sacred title of a mother. It uses society to make you feel like a terrible person for walking away. But what exactly is the enemy trying to achieve by using this specific manipulation tactic against you right now? There is a deeper mechanism at play here. It is not just about stealing your daily energy. It is about blocking your entire destiny. The manipulation goes much deeper than simple childhood trauma, and the hidden truth about how this toxic bond affects your actual frequency will completely change everything you know about spiritual warfare. But there is a deeper layer to this phenomenon. You must understand the hidden mechanism operating behind the scenes. The darkness does not attack you directly. It uses a covert manipulation mechanism disguised under the mask of maternal love, and heaven wants to expose exactly how this toxic trap actively lowers your divine frequency today. Think about the phrases she always uses. She says she just wants what is best for you. She claims she sacrifices everything for your happiness. But her words never match the cold reality of her actions, because these statements are calculated spiritual spells designed to keep you confused and completely dependent on her toxic validation. A covert, narcissistic mother is the most dangerous spiritual entity. She does not scream or throw obvious fits. She uses the weapon of plausible deniability. She inflicts deep emotional wounds with a gentle smile and a soft voice. And when you react to the intense pain, she immediately plays the innocent victim to the rest of the world while secretly enjoying your emotional destruction. This specific type of psychological warfare completely shatters your peace. It forces your brain to constantly operate in a state of survival. You are always walking on eggshells around her unpredictable moods. This constant state of high alert drags your spiritual frequency down into the lowest vibration of fear and endless anxiety. When her dark energy hits your aura, it feels like a heavy blanket. She intentionally creates chaos right before your most important moments. She sabotages your joy because your happiness reminds her of her own miserable existence. This is a deliberate frequency attack meant to keep you vibrating at her pathetic level of chronic dissatisfaction, and she will never stop until you cut the cord. The universe operates on the high frequency of absolute abundance. Heaven needs you relaxed and open to receive your massive generational wealth. But her covert manipulation keeps your energy field tangled in defensive shields. She is literally blocking your divine blessings because your spirit is too busy fighting off her psychic attacks instead of focusing on your kingdom purpose. You are the cycle breaker of your entire bloodline. You were sent to dismantle this toxic mechanism once and for all. You can no longer afford to let her lower your vibration. Your destiny is far too massive to be chained to a narcissistic energy vampire, and you must rise up and claim your position as the master of reality right now. The Holy Spirit is giving you the ultimate permission to detach. You are no longer obligated to tolerate disrespect, disguised as maternal care. It is time to lock in this powerful realization. Type Amen or 111 down in the comments to seal this reality. Your physical action creates a permanent boundary against her dark manipulation and signals to the universe that you are finally ready to receive your pure blessings. From this moment on, your silence becomes your ultimate weapon. You do not need to argue with her anymore. You do not need to explain your boundaries or defend your choices. Your quiet authority is the exact frequency that terrifies her inner demons, because they absolutely panic when they realize they can no longer control your pure light. Notice how she acts when you stop giving her your energy. She will try to provoke you with subtle jabs. She will use other family members to drag you back into the drama, but you must remain completely unbothered. You are a weapon of light, standing tall inside the storm, and her desperate attempts to drain you will ultimately fail against your divine protection. She will call you cold and ungrateful. She will tell everyone how much you have changed. Let her spread whatever false narrative she wants. The chosen one never needs to prove their innocence to a crowd of blind followers. Heaven knows the absolute truth about your pure heart, and that is the only validation you will ever need to walk proudly on your sacred path. Your energy is your most valuable currency. Every ounce of attention you give her is stolen from your own future prosperity. You must fiercely protect your aura from her emotional blackmail. The divine wealth transfer requires a clean vessel, and you cannot hold the riches of the kingdom if your hands are full of her toxic baggage. You have survived the worst of the psychological manipulation. The fog of confusion is finally lifting from your mind. You can see the dark strings she used to control you like a puppet, but realizing the truth is only the first step of your spiritual liberation, because you must now actively purge the poison from your divine energy field. The covert mechanism has been fully exposed to the light. The mask of maternal love has fallen off to reveal the spiritual parasite underneath. You are stepping into a profound era of untouchable peace. But you must prepare yourself for the final trap. The darkness will set, because the enemy does not let the chosen one walk away easily. They will use the ultimate weapon of societal shame against you. They will try to bind you with the heavy chains of family loyalty. What happens when the demon tries to use the commandment of honoring your mother to destroy your soul? Listen closely to the next revelation, because it will completely sever those chains forever. The darkness knows you have figured out the manipulation. It realizes that the subtle psychological games no longer work on your awakened mind, so it deploys its absolute favorite and most dangerous weapon against you. It weaponizes the sacred concept of loyalty to keep you trapped in the abuse, and it uses your pure heart against you to drain your divine energy. They twist the ancient command to always honor your mother. The Matrix brainwashes you into believing that blood relations demand endless sacrifice. You are told that leaving a toxic parent is the ultimate unforgivable sin. But this is a massive spiritual lie created by the enemy to block your blessings, because true divine honor never requires the complete destruction of your own sacred soul. Take a deep breath and let the heavy guilt wash away. You are the chosen one who sees right through the grand illusion. The devil loves to hide behind religious rules and strict societal expectations. It uses the fake mask of filial piety to force you into spiritual submission. But heaven did not create you to be a lifelong punching bag for a narcissistic parent. Think about the traditional concept of a family bloodline. Blood does not automatically create a holy kingdom connection. Sometimes blood is simply the biological vehicle the universe used to bring you here. You owe her basic respect as a human being living on this earth, but you absolutely do not owe her your precious sanity, and you are never obligated to sacrifice your bright spiritual future just to keep her comfortable in her darkness. This is the ultimate emotional purge you must endure. You have to actively reject the false guilt she programmed into your subconscious mind. When she cries and plays the abandoned mother, you must stand incredibly firm. Her dramatic tears are not real sorrow for losing your beautiful heart. They are the angry tantrums of a dark entity losing its favorite energy supply, because the parasite knows it cannot survive without your pure light feeding it every single day. You are a warrior of light, stepping into quiet authority. You no longer react to the emotional blackmail or the dramatic guilt trips. You simply observe the manipulation with absolute calm and perfect clarity. This level of extreme emotional detachment is your strongest spiritual shield against her. It completely blocks the dark attachments from hooking into your divine energy field, and it forces the demonic presence to retreat back into the shadows where it truly belongs. The sleeping people in the matrix will heavily judge you. The flying monkeys in your family will call you a terrible child. They will say you are cold for walking away from your own mother. Let them talk in their sleep while they remain trapped in the cycle. They cannot understand the massive spiritual warfare you are fighting to protect the generational wealth, because they are vibrating on a much lower frequency of fear and blind obedience. Every time you feel the urge to call her out of pure guilt, stop immediately. That sudden emotional urge is not true love. That is the dark spiritual tether trying to reattach itself to your glowing crown. You must ruthlessly cut that invisible cord without a single word spoken. Your absolute silence is the most powerful exorcism you can perform right now, and it demonstrates your unshakable faith in the protective power of the universe. Heaven is watching your incredible bravery in this exact moment. The angels are cheering for you as you finally choose your own spiritual survival. You are passing the most difficult test of your entire earthly incarnation. You are proving that your loyalty belongs to the highest divine truth. You are actively dismantling the broken generational matrix that kept your ancestors poor, and heaven is preparing to reward your obedience with massive, overflowing abundance. The purge is painful, but it is absolutely necessary for your ascension. You are stripping away the final layers of the false identity they forced upon you. You are the untouchable master of reality who answers only to the Supreme Creator. The old version of you who begged for maternal crumbs is officially dead. The new empowered version of you demands absolute energetic respect from everyone, and you will never again lower your high frequency to make a narcissist feel comfortable. But the universe does not just leave you completely alone after this massive purge. Heaven immediately activates a strict divine protection protocol to keep you safe. Bizarre things will start happening around you as the dark attachments are forcibly removed. Your daily reality will begin to shift in highly unpredictable and mysterious ways. The Matrix will try to send counterfeit tests to check your resolve, but your angels will provide undeniable physical proof that your frequency has permanently shifted. Do not ignore the strange phenomena you are about to experience soon. They are the physical validation that the divine isolation is working perfectly. You are entering a highly active phase of spiritual elevation and supernatural protection. What are these mysterious signs that prove heaven is fighting for you? Listen very closely to this next vital revelation, because the signs of your spiritual victory are already appearing in your life right now. As you actively purge the toxic guilt from your soul, heaven begins to secure your perimeter. The universe is now enforcing a strict protocol of divine isolation around you. You might think you are just losing friends or becoming antisocial, but this sudden emptiness is absolutely intentional because your angels are forcibly removing anyone who carries her toxic frequency. Notice how quiet your phone has become lately. The people who used to gossip and complain have suddenly stopped reaching out to you. This is not a coincidence at all. Heaven is clearing out the low vibrational clutter from your life. The universe must empty the room completely before it can bring in your true kingdom connections and your massive financial blessings. You are experiencing strange physical phenomena right now. You might hear a sudden high-pitched ringing in your ears out of nowhere. Your body temperature fluctuates randomly during the day. Do not panic when this happens to you. This is the physical sensation of your energetic frequency upgrading while heaven installs a permanent spiritual shield around your mind. Look at the numbers repeating everywhere you go. You constantly see 111 or 777 on clocks and receipts. These are not random glitches in the matrix. They are direct confirmation codes from the divine realm. Your spirit guides are reminding you that you are perfectly protected and the bloodline curse is completely broken. Take a deep breath and observe your immediate environment. You might even notice technology acting strange when she tries to contact you. Calls drop unexpectedly. Text messages fail to deliver. The universe is literally creating a digital firewall to block her psychic attacks, because your energy field is now vibrating far too high for her darkness to penetrate. Think about how you feel in the complete silence. Before this awakening, being alone made you feel anxious and unloved, but now the solitude feels like a warm and protective blanket. You sleep deeper than you have in years. That deep peace is the undeniable proof that the heavy demonic attachment has finally been severed from your beautiful, glowing aura. The narcissist can feel this massive, energetic shift happening. She senses that her invisible control over you has suddenly evaporated, and because she cannot feed on your fear anymore, she will physically avoid your presence. Her dark entities are literally repelled by your blinding light, and they cannot stand to be in the same room as a fully activated chosen one. This is the ultimate validation of your spiritual victory. You did not have to fight her with angry words or bitter revenge. You won the battle simply by elevating your own divine frequency. The mother wound is no longer a bleeding gash in your soul. It has become a powerful badge of honor that proves your incredible resilience to the entire spiritual realm. Even your dreams are changing dramatically right now. You used to have nightmares about being chased or feeling completely trapped. Now you dream of flying high above the chaos and standing tall in beautiful open spaces. Your subconscious mind is successfully processing the trauma while your spirit travels to the highest dimensions to receive its final upgrades. Small financial miracles are beginning to manifest around you. You find unexpected money or receive strange but positive news about your career. These tiny windfalls are the early warning signs of the massive wealth transfer. The universe is testing your new capacity to receive blessings because the massive dam of abundance is finally ready to burst wide open. You are no longer the frightened empath who begged to be understood. You are stepping fully into your role as the master of reality. Your pure energy demands absolute respect without a single word spoken. The dark forces that used your mother to break you are now watching you rise up in total awe and complete terror. You must recognize how far you have actually come. The person you were last year would have easily surrendered to her emotional blackmail. But the person you are today recognizes the toxic patterns instantly. You have forged an unbreakable shield of divine truth around your heart, and no weapon formed against your sacred mind will ever prosper again. But wait, Before you celebrate this glorious victory, I must issue a critical warning. The darkness has one final desperate trick up its sleeve. There is a fatal trap set right at the finish line. 99% of chosen ones fall for this exact illusion right before their ultimate breakthrough. If you are not prepared for this sneaky attack, you could lose everything. The enemy knows they cannot defeat you with direct abuse anymore, so they will try to use the illusion of a sudden miracle to pull you back into the toxic cycle. Do you want to know what this dangerous trap is? Listen very closely to the climax of this message. Here is the exact fatal trap the darkness has prepared for you. The counterfeit miracle will suddenly appear right before your biggest breakthrough. She will reach out with a surprisingly soft voice and a fake apology. She will claim that she has finally changed and she misses her beloved child. You will feel a sudden urge to forgive and forget everything, but you must remember that this is a highly calculated spiritual illusion, and it is perfectly designed to drag you back. Do not fall for the sweet words and the temporary peace. The dark entities attaching to her know you are about to inherit massive wealth. They are starving, and they want to reattach their energy cords to your glowing aura before the abundance drops. You will willingly hand over the sacred keys to your new kingdom if you reply to her. You must ignore the toxic bait completely and walk away. This is your ultimate test of supreme spiritual authority. Heaven is literally handing you the flaming sword to cut this toxic connection forever. You are the chosen cycle breaker of your ancient bloodline. You have the absolute power to decide who stays in your glorious future and who remains trapped in the past. You are the undisputed master of reality now. Nobody can ever take that divine power away from you. The painful waiting season is officially over. The dry desert you walked through has suddenly burst into an oasis of divine favor. Every closed door is being blown completely off its hinges. Can you feel that massive electric shift in your spirit? That is the glorious frequency of absolute victory running through your veins. You are stepping into the exact timeline you were born to rule, and the universe is handing you the crown. You hold the absolute power of life and death over this generational curse. When you boldly choose to walk away forever, you completely starve the dark demon that fed on your ancestors. You are officially breaking the heavy iron chains. These chains kept your family poor and broken for many centuries. The universe trusts you with this immense authority because your pure heart never once surrendered to the darkness. You are no longer the weak empath who constantly begged to be understood. The brutal crucible of pain has perfectly forged you into the untouchable master of your timeline. From this exact moment on, your pure energy demands deep respect without a single word spoken. The massive divine wealth you were promised is flowing effortlessly into your hands. You finally cleared the toxic space for it to arrive. Look at how beautifully heaven has vindicated your long, silent struggles. The toxic people who secretly plotted against you are watching everything they built crumble down to dust. Meanwhile, a gorgeous table of abundance is being prepared for you in their absolute presence. You do not have to lift a single finger to defend your name anymore. The fierce warrior angels are fighting all your daily battles right now. They thought they could bury you under the heavy weight of family duty. They severely underestimated the fiery spirit of a fully activated chosen one. You survived the cruel silent treatments and the endless gaslighting. You emerged from the fire much stronger than anyone imagined, and your pure light is blinding them now. Your presence alone shifts the atmosphere. You are a walking miracle. Heaven is incredibly proud of you. Your healed ancestors are cheering for your incredible bravery from the highest dimensions. You actually became the dangerous weapon you were trying to survive. The beautiful silence after the storm hits incredibly different. You finally realize you were the powerful storm all along. You have successfully passed the cruel crucible. The golden gates of infinite abundance are opening extremely wide for you today. Take one final deep breath and let this liberating truth anchor deep into your soul. The pitch-black darkness has completely retreated behind you. The glorious dawn of the new era is shining its brightest rays onto your beautiful spiritual crown. But you must take a conscious physical action right now. You need to firmly lock this high frequency in. The defeated enemy will definitely try to steal it away from you again. You have to boldly claim this divine victory with your own physical hands. You cannot leave this sacred portal completely open and unprotected. The universe requires you to physically seal this new reality. This ensures the dark attachments can never return to your peaceful life. The massive energetic shift you feel right now needs to be permanently anchored into your earthly timeline before the video ends. The divine ceremony is almost complete. You have successfully walked through the blazing fire of purification. The heavy toxic chains of your past are permanently shattered on the floor. You are breathing the pure air of absolute freedom for the very first time, and the universe is standing by to deliver your massive generational wealth right now. But you must actively protect this beautiful new frequency. The spiritual realm requires a physical action to permanently lock the golden gates. You cannot simply watch this and walk away in silence. The enemy is waiting for you to drop your guard so they can sneak back in. You have to establish a divine energy receiving station immediately. Hit the subscribe button right now to anchor yourself. This simple action creates an unbreakable energetic shield around your daily life. It tells the universe that you are fully committed to your new timeline. You are building a powerful spiritual fortress that no narcissistic entity can ever penetrate. Your frequency is officially off limits to energy vampires forever. If this fiery message has reignited the divine faith inside you, do not keep it hidden. There is a beautiful rare soul out there bleeding in the dark right now. They are crying because they feel completely trapped by their own toxic family. They desperately need the exact same guiding light that just rescued you. Share this video with them to multiply your own blessing. When you share this truth, you become a powerful beacon of hope. You act as the extended hand of the highest divine authority. Sowing the seed of liberation today guarantees a massive harvest of peace for your tomorrow. The demons absolutely hate it when chosen ones unite and share their secret knowledge. We are building an untouchable army of light together. I need you to make a solemn declaration right here. Type down in the comments exactly these words. I am the untouchable master of my reality, and I receive my blessing. Type it out with absolute confidence and pure joy. This is your final seal of ultimate victory. This written oath binds the protective angels to your physical space and banishes the dark forces completely. Do not let this sacred moment pass you by. Tap the like button like a blazing sword cutting through the final chains of your pain. Every single interaction is a powerful vote for your own spiritual independence. You are claiming your rightful throne in the heavenly kingdom, and you are proving to the divine Creator that your hands are finally open to receive. Look at how beautifully your broken pieces have been restored. You survived the mother wound and turned it into your greatest superpower. You are the ultimate cycle breaker of your entire ancient bloodline. Future generations will speak your name with profound gratitude because you took the hardest hit. You absorbed the generational trauma and transformed it into pure gold. The narcissist has completely lost their grip on your beautiful soul. Their dark manipulation tactics have been permanently deactivated. You will never again shrink yourself to fit into their tiny boxes of misery. Your light is far too massive to be hidden in the shadows of their insecurity. You are a walking miracle of divine grace and perfect supernatural resilience. Prepare your physical environment for the massive incoming miracles. Clean your room and organize your personal space today. The universe loves to fill a clean vessel with unexpected abundance. You are about to see rapid financial shifts and beautiful new kingdom connections. True love and deep respect are finally making their way to your sacred front door. Remember to always guard your heart with quiet authority. If the enemy tries to send a counterfeit apology to test you, remain perfectly silent. Your silence is the impenetrable wall that protects your newly acquired wealth. You do not owe anyone an explanation for your divine boundaries. Your only duty is to protect the sacred flame burning inside your chest. The angels are standing shoulder to shoulder around your bed tonight. You will sleep with the profound peace of a victorious spiritual warrior. The toxic anxiety that used to keep you awake is gone forever. Breathe in the sweet fragrance of your absolute liberation. You are deeply loved, and you are fiercely protected by the highest forces in the entire universe. Never forget who you truly are. You are the empath with boundaries of pure steel. You are the beloved child of the supreme divine creator. Stand tall and walk forward into your glorious new destiny without looking back. The old timeline is dead, and the new era of supreme abundance has officially begun. Stay blessed and keep shining your blinding light.